fans, the King of Elite Runners, Elite Godson is back for more Pixelgun 3D videos. This right here will be a whole lot of few questions I know you guys are probably concerned about in general. Is most of my friends in Pixelgun 3D that play this game entirely is about special sets and lottery. Well, I'm here to talk to you guys about one of these items anyway, but the other item it'll be later on because I got to do calculations for anyway. But one of them I will probably help you guys out is lottery stuff. So to break this down actually for the lottery itself, I had to remake this video again because I didn't even know most about the calculations anyway about what the reward is you'll get for the amount because of the weapon parts in general for it. But I finally got it written down so I remember it this time. But for the actual lottery itself, mostly the only thing I would do for a specific chest I do is just the winner's chest because it's a lot more simple and easy to do because the quantity of what you get. Like for the main weapon parts, the novice you only get 3 of them. Depends on what role you get. For the fighters, you only get like 15 parts for each weapon what you achieve for the main weapons. And for the winners, there's a different amount of range you get, which is either a 50, 150, or 200 or 250. But to make it more clear and more simple, we can hop over to one of my other accounts and show you guys exactly what I mean. Transition to now. Fast forward to this one right now on my third account. The third account I don't even use that often anyway because I want to check to see what we have so far for like the other weapons included. But you can kind of see all these other ones right here where you see just like Battle Royale supplies like random shovels, random gliders, and also like an avatar skin as well too. To customize your character. But the most important one you want to keep an eye on are the weapons entirely. Yes, gems and coins are more important, but most importantly for me would be the weapons entirely for it. So anyways, I actually go down in actually specific order, but I did actually went in depth to be more specific of anyway, for these main weapons entirely. So for the Crimson Treat, the Red Reaper, and the Silent Howl, I know these weapons right here say 3 parts, but I will post this on here on screen. For these main weapons right here, if you keep continuing through with all of these and decide which one you'll go for the single like run through and whatnot, just do every single one at a time. For these 3 weapon parts right here for the mains, it'll be 84 spins if you just land on the same one entirely, like 84 spins for the Crimson Treat entirely, 84 spins for the Red Reaper, and 84 spins for the Silent Howl. If it lands on the same one 84 times, you'll guarantee to get that weapon entirely for it. But however, for the fighter's chest on this one, for these main 3 weapons, because they're 15, in total, it'll be 17 main ones entirely for these ones. But for the winner chest, however, this one's a little bit different because there's only 3 different types, which is the 50s, 150s, or the 250s. For the 50s, it only takes like 5 attempts to get the main ones entirely what you want. The 150s will be 2 of them at the same time because 150 plus 150 will be 300. It's a little bit more rare to get them anyway, but the most common will be only the 50 ones already. But the super rare ones, it's going to be most likely the 250s. It's really, really like a low percentage to get them anyway. So mostly for me, I always go for the winner chest and see what I get because like I said, the most average one I can think of is probably going to be the 50 ones because it'll just give you 5 attempts of what you get entirely for the weapons you get compared to the other ones as well too, like the 150s or the 250s in general. Now, one other note I do want to point out as well too is also the other weapons included as well too, like the rares, epics, and legendaries. The common ones, it's going to be a little more challenging because I'm not sure what type of common weapons you get for it anyway from this because it's super rare to find them anyway for it. But however, for the rares, epics, and legendaries for these ones, it depends on the range of the amount you get and depends on what player level you're at. So for mine, you only start I love for mine, you unlock level 5 to get the lottery and other stuff included. But for this right here, I can only go down in depth of exactly like how much you need entirely for it. So, like for example, the Neon Fighter and the Firestorm, including with the Napalm Cannon and the Brave Patriot, these rare weapons right here for the Novice Chest, depending on the ratio you get, for the Firestorm, Napalm Cannon, and Brave Patriot right here, for those 150s, you only get two chances at the same roll you get entirely. Like, two times of the amount for the Brave Patriot means you'll get the weapon entirely. Same thing applied with the Napalm Cannon and the Firestorm entirely. But for Neon Fighter, this is the only different one right here because this one's only a 50 weapon part. So which means you need to get it 5 times in a row to get the weapon entirely for it. Moving right along is the Fighter's Chest, which has a bunch of epics and legendaries included. For the epics themselves, the only two I always saw was only the Skull Crossbow and Hippo. Those are the only two weapons I saw at the most part, but for these ones right here, it'll be the same technique as for the other ones like the Firestorm, Napalm Cannon, and the Brave Pitcher for the 150 parts. Means you have to get two of the exact same weapons in a row to achieve these weapons entirely. But for the actual weapons like the Werewolf, Good and Evil, and Primal Beast, and there's also another one which is the Witch Doctor, these ones are here are also 150 included, but like I said, 2 times the amount of the same thing, but some of them have a little bit differency as well too, like the Werewolf, Good and Evil, and the Primal Beast. Same thing with this one as well too, which has a different range amount as well. For these three right here entirely, you'll get them twice. For these ones right here, you only get them, I would say, 3 times, because if you do 100 plus 100, it'll give you 200, but not 250 in total. So you do a third roll to get them exactly for it. But for the 35 parts, I did not do calculations of, but I'm just going to go blind guess anyway. I think it'll be either 6 or 7 roll attempts. I'll still play right here on screen anyway, so I can figure this out anyway. But I think it's like 6 or 7 roll attempts of the same weapon in a row to achieve this weapon anyway for it. Finally is the Winner's Chest, which is the main one you really want to go for anyway, because it just only gives you legendary weapons entirely for it. So for the legendaries, it's just mostly going to be either the 100s or the 150s. For the 100s, it's just only going to be 3 times of the same roll over and over again of the same weapon. But for the 150s, it's just going to be 2 times of the amount of the same thing as well too. For the super, there's nothing much in general because it's just going to give you a super guaranteed mythical weapon entirely for it. But only thing I know about in depth is mostly just how to achieve these weapons entirely and how much the amount you need entirely for it. But the other thing I do want to point out as well too is the roll amount as well too. Like for example, for the novice, you do one single roll and you have 2 options of either doing the continuation of just doing another 10 roll, or do the max roll, which is the 10 rolls of that chest, which will make you lose more keys. So for example, for the novice, you have an option of either doing another 10 key or a 100 key. For the 100 keys for the novice will be a lot more simple and easy because of these 3 main parts right here. Exactly, because you'll get more and more of the same quantity you get. So if you do it 10 times of these 3 right here, you'll probably get 33 entirely. I could be wrong in my math, but like I said, I'll still do the correct calculations for it anyway. So like if you get Crimson Treat 10 times in a row, you'll get more weapon parts entirely for it. Same thing with the Red Reaper and the Silent Howl. Same thing applied with the Fighter's Chest entirely. It'll be the same thing over and over again. But for the Fighter's Chest, if you do 10 times again for that, where you have an option of either doing another 50, or the other option is doing opening 10 of the same Fighter Chests for only 500 keys. This right here will also give you a little bit more weapon parts entirely of the same weapon 10 times in a row. Like the Crimson Treat, it'll be more likely, if you do 15 plus the 10 entirely, it'll just give you like 105 or something else like that. I could be wrong in my math, but I'm not sure exactly for it. Same thing with the Red Reaper and the Silent Howl for the main weapons. And for the Winner's Chest, this one's going to be a little bit more challenging, and I don't want to say the word atrocious, but I'm just going to say right there anyway. But the Winner's Chest is going to be more like a super challenge and whatnot, because it depends on the role you get anyway, because if you decide to do the 150 key chest and then you have an option of either doing another 150, or the other option is the 1,500 keys for only 10 winner chests entirely for it. So you just get the same one over and over again, you're going to waste a whole lot of keys and entirely all the grinding you did. So like for example, if you just get 5 of these, because if you do 10 pulls, you only get either 2 of these options already, and the third one just left behind. This will still be a good deal, but be aware, because of the amount of keys you just grinded for, it's going to be a huge scam, because sometimes it'll give you just only gems or coins. So be very mindful about that, because of the percentage of what it is. The highest percentage will give you what guaranteed weapon you'll get. And like I said, if you have just only everything else except for these main ones right here, the main ones, if you choose for the winner's chest, like I said, 10 pulls will give you, 10 pulls will take away 1,500 keys entirely for it. So like for example, you only got 5 parts for the Crimson Treat and 5 parts for the Silent Howl, but not enough for the Red Reaper. Like you got both these to craft except for the Red Reaper. That's going to be more challenging, but however, if you get the other 3 right here, you're guaranteed to get these 150 ones right here, because it'll be 6 times of the same weapon, like 2 for the Crimson Treat, 2 for Red Reaper, and 2 for Silent Howl, and the other remaining ones will be just gems entirely for the remaining winner chests, like if you pull 10 of these entirely. And for the 250s, it'll just be 3 the amount, and 7 remaining for the gems entirely, and also rare chances of the skin included as well too. So that's the only simple thing I want to point out there for the lottery set entirely, with me going in depth. But like I said, I will still post this on here so you guys can see entirely what it is I'm talking about, like the actual main amount. But it's going to be a whole lot of calculations to understand the amount of what it is I'm actually trying to do anyway. But let's go ahead and transition back over to my main count. Fast forward to now, because everything else is just mostly I just achieved everything, and with the actual gems you only get, like for me in general, sometimes you only get like a highest percentage or lowest percentage. And if you guys are wondering, for the actual order you get, the actual percentage does not actually change, because the amount of what you get is what you're going to get. Like for example, for my winner's chest, I only have a 25% chance of either the 100 or 70 gems, and a 50% chance for the 50 gems. The highest amount of the percentage only depends on what the lowest one you'll get. And for the weapon parts, it only depends on what the highest one you'll get entirely if you don't have that weapon entirely. And then you'll work on to the main weapons anyway. The main weapons are the lowest percentage, while you have the other remaining ones you don't have yet. So like for example, I'll show you an example anyway for it. So like, let's just say, for example, let's find a good one right here. What's a good one? Ah, here we go. So a Brave Patriot will be a good example for this anyway. So a Brave Patriot in your Novice will be 75% chance on achieving it, while the Crimson Treat, however, if I can move down there anyway for it, will be a 2% chance. Brave Patriot will be the highest one to go for anyway, because Brave Patriot is only 150 parts included. While Crimson Treat, however, is like a 2% chance, because that one is going to be a long time for it to get, or a very lucky draw on what it landed on. The percentage only depends on what the highest percentage you have anyway for it. Like I said, Brave Patriot, 75% chance, will only give you that actual roll of what you wanted, till you complete all the other weapons, and then you can start working on to the main ones entirely for it. Same thing apply with the fighters and the winners. Like I said, the percentage for the lottery depends on what exact roll you'll get anyway for it. But this right here will conclude this lottery video talk for tips right here for you guys to talk about. To help you guys with that question right there, like I said, you have your answer already for it. For the other one I was want to point out is the special sets. I'm gonna need more work on that anyway because there's gonna be tons of calculations to do because for the special sets, it depends on what card it was flipped over, guaranteed on what spot it is. Like, I can tell you guys exactly which one I'm talking about. For this one right here, like, it just flips over or whatnot, it'll just be randomized and see which one you get. Like, for some reason, guaranteed the main weapon will be either in slot number 2, slot number 7, slot 5, slot 8, the first slot. It depends on what it is actually you're going to get anyway. But it only depends on what it is. But like I said, this video will be soon next, but I need more time anyway so I can do calculations of which spot it was. It'll be more likely probably next year of 2026 for this video right here for the special sets because I need more time to go through and see exactly what it is. Like I said, for the main weapons will be either in slot number 2, slot number 8, 7, 1, 5, 4, whatever else it randomizes to anyway. So I need to make myself like a little grid and see exactly where the main weapon was at. But the only reason why for this video I was doing is the lottery because there was a few folks, especially from my friends, big shout out to them by the way, want to know about the lottery anyway, about like how can you differentiate exactly what it is you're looking for exactly and what percentage you'll get, including the weapons of what you want. But this right here will conclude this video right here. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time. But before I do sign off, there is one special note I want to point out as well too for this Pixel Gun 3D stuff. I've been noticing as well too, I've been doing a whole lot of weapon stereotypes. Not weapon stereotypes, 100 weapon tier list. And I've been noticing some weapons have been redesigned. I will probably do another tier list on that one and decide about which is which. But I do have one other thing in mind, is which I already said earlier, will be a weapon stereotype. So I'll be thinking about doing a whole lot of Pixel Gun 3D videos for weapon stereotypes and a whole lot of stories of like when it was first introduced and a whole lot of changes it went through. Every single weapon, and that's going to be a huge grind for me to go every single one over and over again. It's going to be a very big one, but that's going to be my big challenge anyway for it. But anyways, this will conclude this video right here. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Goodbye. Lightning Strike.